Hello everyone, it's Annie, and today I am doing the social media book tag. So I really like this idea. I think it's a really cute tag. I also want to say that I got this tag from Sasha over at Redheaded Reader. You should all check out her channel, which will be linked down below. She sort of revived this tag. I think it's so cute, and she also added the last question, which you'll see at the end. So yeah, definitely check out her channel. Without further ado, let's get started. So the first question is Twitter. What is my favorite book that's under 200 or 300 pages? So I picked my favorite sci-fi novella, Binti by Neria Corafor. If you don't know, I have talked about this on my channel before, but it is such a good book that more people should read. It's actually a trilogy of 3 novellas published by Tor, and it is about this girl named Binti who is she is the first person from Earth that is picked to go to the very prestigious alien university on another planet. And while she is on the ship that is taking her there, some stuff happens with other alien species and it gets really intense, and it is such a good sci-fi story. I love the main character so much. This is definitely a book to check out, especially if you're looking for something short. The next question is Facebook, a book that everyone pressured you to read. Well, there is a book I'm in the middle of right now while I'm filming this, which is Nine Fox Gambit by Yoon-ha Lee. My sister especially kind of pressured me into reading this, and some other people on BookTube who said I would really like it. I am only a quarter of the way through right now, so I can't really have full-fledged opinions on it yet, but to be honest, it's really confusing. It's just a really confusing world that Yoon-ha Lee has built for me so far. There's a lot of math, and not actual math. I mean, it's actual math, obviously, but it's not like regular math. It's like weird math, so it's a little bit confusing. But I talked to my sister about it, and she said that, just look past it. She didn't understand it either, but she just focused on the characters and their things that they do, and that's what to focus on. So when I pick it back up, I took a little bit of a break from it because I was getting frustrated, but when I pick it back up, I will do that and try not to get discouraged by not understanding everything that's happening in the world around the characters. The next prompt is Tumblr, a book I read before it was cool. I am gonna pick The Lost Apothecary just because I read an arc of it in December before I really knew. When you read an arc, you usually put your review of it out a couple weeks beforehand at the most, but no, I read it and I put it on YouTube in December, and the book itself came out in March. So I definitely read this before most people even knew about it, I think, and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars, and it's been getting very good ratings. It seems like it's very popular for good reason, so I am really happy about that. And just to give a short synopsis of this, it's about a woman who travels to London after a conflict with her husband, and she goes mudlarking and finds a small vial that is marked with a apothecary's stamp, I guess you could say, or the logo. And she does historical research to find out about it. But then you also are following this apothecary and her assistant in the 1700s. So you have this dual perspective of modern times and historical times, and it is just a really, really thrilling historical fiction book. I love it because the apothecary sells poisons to women to kill men who are abusive or horrible to them, and I love that idea. I love that, and I love this book, and please read it, and also check out my review of it first. The next prompt is Myspace, a book you can't remember whether you liked or didn't like. So I am choosing the Saturday Night Book Club for this prompt. I read it last year or 2 years ago now. Honestly, I don't really remember it at all, which is why I'm picking it. I rated it 3 stars, but I guess that means it was just average for me. I don't remember anything bad about it, but I don't remember anything spectacular about it. I don't remember any of the characters or any of the plot points, so, which is a shame because the cover is so cute. I like this kind of a, like, creepy old ghost aesthetic. Like, I think that's cute. And the synopsis compares it to Stranger Things, but I don't know, I don't remember anything about it. The next prompt is Instagram, a book with a beautiful cover. Now, you guys know I love talking about beautiful covers, so this time I'm going to pick The Beast Player by Nahoko Uehashi. This cover, there are two actually, and in my opinion, they're both equally gorgeous. I really love them both. And I love these, the colors, the brushwork, it's so, so gorgeous. I absolutely love also how the royal beast in the story was depicted. It's like a wolf with wings. I think that's so cool because in the book you don't really get too much description, at least as far as I can remember, of how they look. I mean, you know they have wings, you know they have fur, but that's really it. And big teeth. But this is such a good YA fantasy translated from Japanese. If you're interested in Japanese fiction at all, or just fantasies in general, definitely pick this up. It makes some great commentaries about the relationship between humans and animals and the environment. It's also a really intriguing political system in this world, so please pick this up if you haven't already. The next prompt is YouTube, a book that I think should be turned into a movie, and that would be a book I recently finished, Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. While I was reading this book, I was saying to myself, wow, this would be so cool on a big screen. I need this to be a movie. And after the success of Andy Weir's The Martian, honestly, I'm very sure that this is eventually going to become a movie. At least I hope so, because I would love to see this movie played out in front of me. I love this book so much. It was so, so good. It's about this man named Ryland Grace who wakes up from a coma on a spaceship, and he doesn't know why he's there, how he got there, what he's supposed to be doing there, and basically, it's a story about saving humanity from disaster, like a whole extinction event disaster. And wow, it was so good. It was so creative. The science in this, oh my god, the problem solving, the aliens involved, oh my god, it was so good. This is one of the best sci-fis I have read. I don't know if I like it better than The Martian because The Martian was awesome, but this book was so good, so creative, and definitely if you're in the mood for a very thrilling, yet also somehow heartwarming sci-fi, absolutely pick this one up. The next prompt is Goodreads, a book I would recommend to everyone. Now, there are a few, but I picked Pachinko by Min Jin Lee because this book I think has a wide appeal. It is historical fiction, but also kind of literary fiction, and there's also romance in there, and, you know, wartime fiction. I think it's really good for everyone to read, and I think everyone should read this. It is a multi-generational story of a Korean family who are living in Japan. And it starts from the Japanese occupation of the Korean Peninsula to more modern times. And following the members of this family and seeing the hardships they go through living in Japan and being persecuted for their Korean heritage is just really heartbreaking. And there's so many things that happen in this book, so many different characters to love. Because it's a multi-generational story, I think people could find anything for them here. You know, it can appeal to a wide range of people because there is a wide range of stories in this one book. So I think that this is a great, great book for everyone to read. And if you haven't yet, get on it. The next prompt is Skype, a book with characters I would love to talk to instead of just read about. I am going to pick a middle grade series. I was thinking of picking Percy Jackson for this, which of course I would love to talk to them, but I am picking the Guardians series. If you guys have seen the animated movie by DreamWorks, I loved that movie, so I read almost all of the chapter books when it came out. So that was quite a few years ago now, but I still think these are such cute middle grade books. And I really love the character designs for all of these, magical creatures. They have the Tooth Fairy, the Sandman, Santa, and I just think Jack Frost and everybody so adorable. I would really love to talk to these magical creatures, especially to Tiana, because I think her character design is so cute and she is super nice and joyful, and she also is great at fighting and she's really cool, so I want to talk to her. The next prompt is Snapchat, a book that was pretty on the outside but ugly on the inside. I like that prompt. This will be We Play Ourselves, and I highly disliked this book. I got it as an e-arc and I was really disappointed by it. I gave it 2 stars. But look at this cover. It's such a pretty, intriguing cover. Basically, the story is about our main character who is a failed playwright because she was involved in this very public incident that basically had her be canceled by everyone. And so she moves from New York to California to find herself. I really hated the main character and all of her decisions and everything she did. And also, I don't like books about plays or actors. I've realized that about myself. If I knew that before, I would not have taken this arc. But also, the synopsis says that it has to do with filming a movie about a female fight club, and that is such a small part of the book. That's a big reason why I wanted to read this arc. And it was such a small part of the book, and I was really disappointed by that. So yeah, this book to me was ugly on the inside, unfortunately. The next prompt, second to last, is Pinterest, a book that taught me something. So I read a lot of nonfiction, so I could really pick anything, but I wanted to pick something that I hadn't yet talked about on this channel, and that would be See You Again in Pyongyang. I love this book. I read a lot of books about North Korea, and I am very, very interested in the history about Korea in general and North Korea today. I am very, very interested in that, and this book is written by an American university student who was an exchange student at Kim Il-sung University in Pyongyang for a very long time, like a year, I'm pretty sure. And his writing, I feel like, because most people who write about North Korea, unless they are refugees from North Korea, have never been there. They just go based off of what other people have told them. And I think it's very interesting to read a book from a perspective of someone who wasn't escaping North Korea, but rather went there to learn about it and to learn Korean. And I think it's an interesting perspective, and I think I learned a lot about how real North Korean life, at least in Pyongyang, is in modern times today, and how people live or make their lives as good as they can be under the circumstances there. And I think the people he meets are very interesting, and of course he uses aliases and things, so that's good. But I think this is a really good book if you are at all interested in North Korea as a subject. And then the last prompt is Tik Tok, which is your favorite short story collection. I have not read many short stories collections, but I will change this to give you some that I want to read. So one that I really, really want to read, first of all, is The Paper Menagerie by Ken Du. I really want to read this. I also want to read his fantasy trilogy, but I want to read this before I do that. I've heard that this is such a good collection of short stories. I've really heard nothing but good things about it, so I really need to give it a shot. And then I want to read How to Pronounce Knife, which is written by a woman who lived in Lao refugee camps in Thailand and her experiences with that. And Books and Lala recently read this, and she loved it, gave it 5 stars, so that made me want to read it even more. And honestly, I'm thinking of buying this book outright just because I know I'm gonna love it, and I usually don't buy books before I read them, so in case I don't like them, I don't feel like I wasted money, but I am so sure I'm gonna love this collection of short stories. So in the future, I'm hoping to do a short story collection reading vlog. So if you're interested in seeing that, please let me know, and let me know down below which short story collections you recommend I read. So thank you guys so much for watching this tag video. It was a lot of fun. I got this from the video. I will link down below. I tag anyone who wants to do this, but I think it would be really fun if Books Past Bedtime did this. I just want to see your answers. So thank you guys again so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe to my channel for more bookish videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye!